What's up everyone? Welcome back to the Trading Empire. In this video, I want to just show you guys quickly what I do once the market closes. Obviously, once I've finished my trading day, I want to go back on the trades for the day that I did. Why did I execute them? What was the opportunity that I saw? What was my entry price? What was my exit price? What could I have done better in order to boost my profit on this particular trade? So with the help of the tracker, I'm going to show you that I'm filling on a constant basis pretty much every day after my trading day. I'm able to find out what's my trading edge, and I'm able to find out what is my most common improvement that I could work on. So I'll upload this tracker for you guys for a free download. So just check the link in the description and feel free to use it, download it, and I can only recommend using it because it will help you identify your potential. So let's dive into it. Alright, what you can see here is my trading journal that I've established myself. This has been evolving through my trading career, and what you can see now is basically the final stage that I had established in May 2020. Yes, I do enter in every single trade that I do in order for myself to keep track of my performance, to find my edge, to find my areas of improvement. I reconsolidate my data every month to check, okay, this strategy has worked really well, this strategy has not worked so well. That is my most common area of improvement I must focus on. And I keep track of my statistics up here at the very top of the tracker. I'll run you through very quickly through the boring part to go on and to show you the ultimate outcome, what I take away from this tracker. So I track day and time of every single trade, the strategy that I was performing while doing the trade. So what setup did I see, whether or not I had a catalyst, what the futures markets of the US futures tell me before the ASX opened, what chart did I identify the trade on, did I go long or short, what stock did I trade, my entry price, my stock position size that I went in, the closing price, the size out, and the profit or loss per share, the win, the loss, the position size in general in terms of Australian dollars, the percentage of win or loss on the position size, whether or not I followed the plan, some comments, and the identified area of improvement on the particular trade. Here up the top, I track my accuracy for the month. So 57% of my trades in May were successful, meaning at a profit. The P&L ratio for the month, 1.71 to 1. My goal is to have a 2 to 1 P&L ratio on an accuracy of 50%. The number of trades, the commission I paid, my average winner, my average loser, the gross profit, and the net profit. One of the goals of this tracker is to be able to review every single trade that you've been doing for the particular day. So in this case, I will just show you the trade on Afterpay that I did on the 7th of April 2020. Because it's already so far in the past, I cannot show you the 1 and 5 minute charts for those days, but I picked out a trade that I took on the daily chart, which I can go back to. So technically, reading my tracker, I can see I took this trade in the morning. My strategy was a gap trade. The futures markets were pointing to a strong open before the open of the ASX. Took it on the daily, as I said. I went long on Afterpay, entered in at $21, took a position of 800 shares, sold out at $21.45 and made a profit of $360. Looking at the chart, it looks like this on that particular day. So this is TradingView. I've explained that platform in my previous video. Check it out if you like. It's a really good charting platform that you can view in the browser, and there's also a cool app for your phone. So technically, the candle or the price was breaking out of that range in the short term, which also marked the bottom of the COVID crisis here on the 23rd of March, so the bottom of the stock markets internationally. And we were in a bounce movement up here and sort of consolidating here in an ABCD pattern. And on the day, the opening price was pointing to a breakout out of that ABCD pattern. So I took a long position here at the open at $21, and I sold out at $21.45, and I could also have held on up until almost $22 on that day, which would have brought my profit up to $800 if I would have performed that trade perfectly. There's no perfection in trading, so idealistically speaking, of course there is, but in reality, you gotta make the best out of the prices, the stocks, the fundamentals, the catalysts that present and open up in front of you. And in this case, this was a successful decision and a successful trade, booking in $360 of profit. And I can now review that information and have that data available in my trading journal, which has helped me over the time of my intraday day trading career to develop my skills, find my edge, and find the room for improvements. So with that information in context, and again, I do that with every single trade, look at the chart, what did I do, what was my decision-making process. With that information in context, I'm trying to figure out what is my improvement that I could have been doing in order to boost my profit, in order to avoid a loss, whatever the improvement might be. So in this particular case, and with the chart that we just saw in context, I could have scaled out of the position, right? So I could have sold half at $21.45 instead of everything, and then let the other half run and maybe sell at $21.90. So that is just an idea at the time, and I write it down. This could have been done an improvement, and I'll show you what I do with that data in the next step. Moving over to the right of my tracker, I'll put down pivot tables to reconsolidate my data. So firstly, I'll check, in the first pivot table, I'll check what strategy has worked out how well. So I can see that I had, with the gap strategy, 17 winners, 5 losers for the month, with an overall accuracy for 77% and a P&L of 1.58. Now that's some solid statistics for one strategy for a month. So that month, I think, was also my record month for the trading career. So the gap strategy has worked really well in that month. Whereas the HOD, which stands for high of day, so when the price breaks through the high of day candle, I didn't have a good performance as such that I had with the gap strategy. Only 6 out of 15 trades were winners, and also not that good P&L ratio, not to say a pretty bad P&L ratio for that strategy. So with that data, I'm trying to identify the strategies that work best. With the improvement information I take from the tracker, I create a pivot table to figure out what's the most common improvement on all of my trades. And for the month of May, that was scaling out. So scaling out of the position really is at the higher end of the skill set of a successful trader. In those cases, I figured out that scaling out would be an improvement. There were mostly winners. So basically what I take away from that info is that in most of the trades, I took a win and I identified scaling out as an improvement. I probably took the profit too early and I could have scaled out to boost my profit. Another one would be scalping the profit. In most cases, that's my improvement. I take a loss, and that makes sense too, because instead of scalping the profit, taking it off the table, I let the trade run. I do not scalp and eventually end up losing in those trades. So You see, with that information, you take a lot of valuable lessons, I really would encourage every single trader to have a detailed trading journal like this. Of course, there's a lot of online platforms you can upload your data to, and you'll get a good breakdown of your performance, which is great. But that level of detail you can only really achieve by making notes and trying to break down the data like that. Only then you'll be able to identify your edge, only then you'll be able to identify your improvements, and you'll be able to track your monthly performance increase. So this is the full process of my trading day. The trading day ends with filling out that tracker, and I do this for every single trade. I enter in the data, enter in every single piece of information I got, because with the collective amount of all this information, I'm able to identify my edge. And this is what's really important to not lose sight of while trading full-time. Also always try to work on your improvement, and this tracker just helps me streamline the information to what is really required in order for me to improve. So yeah, just download the tracker if you like, put it up online, and if you have any suggestions on how to improve the tracker and what to implement and what might be missing, then I'm happy to hear from you guys. So I hope this will bring you forward another step, and I'll see you next time.